I don't know about you, but I'm having so much fun on this Goodwill tour series. Today is episode 5, and we are hitting the road and heading to Vancouver, Washington.
Like, it would take you a week to visit every Goodwill in Portland.
That needs to be a thing.
Right.
My husband's full of great ideas, but this might be my very favorite. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be taking you with me to every single Goodwill within the Goodwill Industries of the Columbia Willamette. I went on their website, and guess what? It turns out that there are over 55 Goodwills in this region. So join me as we travel around Washington and Oregon, thrifting each Goodwill, looking for items to resell. This is going to be a thrift series you are not going to want to miss, so don't forget to subscribe. And let's go check these Goodwills off one at a time.
You are biting off something.
You put the idea in my head and I am running with it. We are kicking off today's episode at one of my favorite Goodwills in Washington. I love the Battleground location because I always find antiques. The pricing is high at this location. It's probably one of the highest priced Goodwills in this entire region. But if you get there when it opens at 10 a.m., you can usually score some really cool vintage. As a vintage reseller, it's really important to pick up things that have sold well in the past for you, or that you know other vintage resellers are selling well. Decanters are one of those things that I've always done pretty well with, whether it's a mid-century modern colorful one or a cut crystal decanter like this one. They've got $19.99 on this, which is a lot to spend. I told you the pricing is going to be a little bit higher at this Goodwill, but I do think that this is a beautiful, high-quality decanter. One of my favorite things to decorate and style are bar carts, and I'm actually going to give you a little sneak peek at something that I find in an episode that you haven't seen yet, because I know it's coming out after this one. I found the most incredible antique bar cart, and I just have to style this up with it. I'll share more about the bar cart in an episode coming very soon. During the summer when I'm out thrifting, I typically try to stock up on things for the upcoming Thanksgiving and Christmas season, and this ceramic bowl would be perfect for a Thanksgiving table setting. It is $4.99. It has a lot of crazing in the glaze, but I don't see any big cracks or chips. Wouldn't this be beautiful for a Thanksgiving table setting? I need to wood oil this little wooden handle, but I think that this would be great for setting up on a table with some snacks in it. Maybe even some dips would be great in this. And it was only $4.99. We are getting this glass apothecary jar. I think it is so beautiful, classic, timeless. I love the creamy white with the gold rim, the fact that it's a pedestal and it has a nice lid. It is $9.99. I'm going to use this not only for staging, but also in my bathroom. Okay, I almost didn't get this because of the flower on the other side, but I just love the shape on it and this beautiful milky white. I love flowers in nature, but this design is just not doing it for me personally. I don't think I'm gonna remove it. I'm not sure if it's actually etched or if it's just transferred onto there with paint, but I'm curious to know what you think. Do you think that this paint could be removed? Have you ever tried that on something like this? I'm gonna style it both ways, showing the flowers and without, and let me know in the comments below which you prefer. Here's a nice rustic wooden candle holder. I like this one because it's a tall cylinder, so it has a mix of modern and rustic together. It is $6.99, and it even comes with an unburnt candle in the top. I've been finding some really great natural wooden candle holders at thrift stores lately. I really like this one. It's a nice, clean, simple design, but it's got a little bit of that organic, natural, live edge to it. I've probably said it a million times and I'll keep saying it till the day I die, but I love adding in natural elements to a space. Wood is the easiest way to warm up a space that is feeling kind of cold. This is a cutie. Look at this dog. I think that this is actually a Staffordshire dog. It's very heavy. They've got $4.99. It says as is, probably because of the tail. I actually think that this is an antique. I know these Staffordshire dogs in the black were made all the way back to the 1800s. I'm not sure how old this one actually is, but I'm sure gonna do some research. You've probably seen the Staffordshire dogs in the white with all the gold painting on them very frequently, but they also made a black version, and the ones that I've seen actually had eyes on them, so I don't know how old this one actually is, but this is very heavy. This is probably 5 or 6 pounds. If you have any thoughts on this dog, let me know in the comments below. Look at this beautiful hand-painted bowl. I think this might possibly be Italian or possibly from Spain. The crazing on the glaze makes it look like it actually is pretty old. They've got $19.99. That seems to be the price of the day today. It's really beautiful and I kind of want to learn a little bit more about it, so we're gonna get it. Sometimes I have to ask myself, if you saw this at an antique store, would you pay $19.99? And the answer is yes. If I did come across this at an antique store, I would pay that much because I think it's so beautiful. And now I have something to Google tonight with a glass of wine. If you are familiar with this pattern or the stamp on the bottom, please comment below and let me know. And I will pin that comment to the top section so that everybody can get that information easily. These are kind of funky. They're hand-blown glass goblets in this kind of honey onyx color. These are $9.99 each. I think I'm gonna put them in the cart while I think about it. I really do like them, but $30 for the 3 goblets is about what I would expect to get for resale. So I'm not quite sure I'm gonna end up getting them. If I do, I might be purchasing them more for styling rather than resale. I ended up getting all 3 of them, and I kind of chose to get them not because of the value. Honestly, these were probably priced pretty close to full retail. Maybe $15 a glass would be the max that I could get for them, but they are handmade blown glass, and I really liked that they look like a nice honey warm onyx. So for being glass, I think that they will actually add a nice warm touch. This is one of my favorite mid-century dishware sets. These are designed by Carlos Montes out of San Juan. Unfortunately, they priced every single plate individually. The large plates are $4.99, but they are in pristine condition. I have never seen a set look this unused before. It looks like there are more pieces to the set. Over here we have the oval platter, and it is $7.99. Here's a great serving bowl for $7.99. This oval serving bowl is $6.99. This is the largest set I've ever found of this specific pattern. I first fell in love with this design when I saw it at an antique mall maybe a decade ago. It's not something I come across very often. I've only found a few single dishes over the years, so I was very excited to find so many of them, especially in such incredible condition. They look completely unused. I'm starting to think that somebody recently donated an entire estate to this Goodwill location. All of these dishes look like they've never even been used. These dishes are 1970s Mikasa. This is the dahlia pattern designed by Ben Siebel. The smaller plates are $3.99, and there's a whole stack of them in perfect condition. There's also a huge stack of the full-size dinner plates, and these are $4.99. We are going to scour these shelves and see what else we can find that goes with the set. Here's a matching large serving bowl for $7.99. There is a whole stack of the matching bowls. I can't believe I'm finding pretty much a complete set. Over here we've got the coffee mugs with the saucer plates. Ooh, these are priced at $6.99 each. That's going to add up real quick. There's also a matching cream and sugar set here. I'll tell you what, I sure splurged today on this set. It added up fast, and I don't know if it was a smart investment or not. I'm hoping I can double my money, maybe? If not, at least I love this 1970s pattern and design, so at least if I can't sell the set for a good margin, I can enjoy them at home. I think that's really important when you're buying vintage, to always think about what happens if you get stuck with it. I think that these could potentially be really valuable to a movie set. If you think about it, a show set in the 1970s should have 1970s stuff that is in really good condition, not looking like it's 50, 60 years old. I don't have any connections in the Hollywood set design industry, but I've always thought that it would be so much fun to be a picker for TV show sets. And recently we've been having a lot of TV show and movie sets coming up to Portland and buying large quantities of mid-century era vintage from our local vintage stores. So this is me putting that idea out there in the universe today. You never know. Maybe one of you has a friend in the industry that is looking for a brand new set of 1970s Mikasa dahlia plates. This plate looks like it is mid-century modern. It says Jackson, China, Falls Creek, PA, designed by Paul McCobb. Oh my gosh, I've never found Paul McCobb dishware before. It is $2.99, and there are 2 of them. I'm a huge fan of Paul McCobb's furniture, and I didn't even know that he designed dishes. Sadly, I didn't find any of the teacups to match this, but I still picked up the 2 plates in case any of you out there collect this pattern. These are in pristine condition. This teapot is beautiful. It kind of looks Scandinavian. I'm not familiar with the designer on this. They're asking $19.99, and it's not Scandinavian. It's actually made in Granada, Spain. The Castilian Collection, Genuine Ironstone. Oh, this is interesting. I've never come across this before. I was really surprised that this was not Scandinavian. I thought it was going to be Swedish or Denmark. This is why I love doing this, because you never know and you're always learning things. It was $19.99. I picked it up because the design on it is gorgeous, and thankfully it's going to be worth more than $19.99. I've been doing really good finding vintage clocks lately. This is a vintage Seth Thomas clock. It needs a little bit of cleaning, but it looks like it's in really good condition. It is $7.99, and I'm not sure if it works, but I've got several extra battery packs at home that I can swap out if it doesn't. Love ship paintings. This is a beautiful piece of vintage art. It is just a print, but it has really nice matting, and I love the vintage gold frame. It's $9.99, and it has all of the information about the original artwork here on the back. I try to pick up as much original art as I can. It's getting harder and harder to find these days at thrift stores, especially Goodwill. However, I do come across prints more often, and if it has a really good matte and framing job on it, I usually do pick it up. Obviously, I love finding original art, and there's a lot of value in it. However, it's nice to have things that are more affordable. I have lots of prints in my home, especially Matisse. I can't afford a real Matisse, so sometimes you gotta have a print. You know that feeling when you're walking in the thrift store and you're about to head to the checkout, and then all of a sudden you get that gut feeling that you need to do one final swoop of the store? Well, that just happened to me, and I am so glad that I did. Because look what is hiding over here behind this cradle in the corner. Barely noticeable. This lamp is only $9.99, and it has been out on the floor for several days. This might just be my best find of the series so far. Ugo Zaccagnini. That's a hard one to say, and I still don't know if I'm even saying that right. This is a 1960s Italian designer lamp. It is signed on the bottom, and I can't believe that I just found this in Goodwill for $9.99. I didn't know who this was by until I turned it over and I saw the signature on the bottom, but I knew that it was gonna be good. When you see a milk glass shade on the top, usually with a brass fitting just like this, and something on the base that's more modernist, you always want to get it. To me, these are so unique because they are this in between the traditional and Art Deco style mixed with the very early mid-century modernist style. This designer's mid-century lamps are listed online, some for well over $1,000. This lamp was only $9.99. It's one of the cheapest purchases from this Goodwill today. I'm so excited. This is my second lamp find in this style from this era in the last 2 weeks. I had a feeling today was going to be a good day when I woke up. That's a wrap for our first Goodwill haul, and now we are headed to our second Goodwill of the day. Goodwill number 2. This is the Orchards Goodwill on 4th Plain. There are 2 different Goodwills in Vancouver on 4th Plain. This looks like pretty much a perfect lampshade in my opinion. It's got that nice linen color and texture to it. It's a great size and it looks like it's in really good condition, no stains, and it doesn't smell. And it's only $3.99. I never pass up a good quality vintage lampshade, especially when it's only $3.99. Lampshades are very expensive, and our Goodwills now separate lamps from lampshades, so it's been even harder to thrift and find lamps and lampshades that go well together over the last few years. So whenever I come across a good lampshade, I always pick it up because you never know when you're going to find the perfect lamp for it. Sometimes I overlook really well-made vintage glass because it's separated and it just doesn't catch my eye. But whenever I see a collection of it all together, I do think it's really eye-catching. It looks like somebody might have donated their collection all together. This one is $9.99 and it's nice and heavy and appears to be really well made. The bottom is ground off and polished, similar to a lot of Murano glass. Even if this is not Murano and it's just a nice piece of art glass, I know that it's worth more than $10. So it's a good investment for resale. These bowls are really beautiful. This green one here is $12.99. It also has the nice flat polished ground off bottom. I really like this. This is a really nice one, and there's a blue one here too. Again, we've got a nice heavy solid glass with a flat ground polished base. This one is also $12.99. We're gonna get them, get home, and do more research. What do we think? Do we think these are Murano? I found a designer that has a very similar style to this one. The color and the style of the base is almost identical to his work. I found some almost identical ones to this one with the bubbles online stating that they were Murano, and they were listed for a lot. I ended up getting all three of these. I did put back the other blue one. Something about that one was making me feel like it wasn't as high quality as these three. These are heavy. My arms hurt just from holding them. I'm excited to learn more about these and see if I can find out who the designers are, if they are in fact Murano, or if they are unknown art glass. I've got a lot to learn about glass, but I'm having fun learning it. I think the next step for me is I need to get some books on Murano artists so I can start looking at that while I'm just chilling in my backyard during some downtime. If I did in fact find 3 vintage Murano glass items, this was a gold mine. I have seen this vase in a West Elm catalog before, so it's contemporary, it's modern made. If I recall correctly, these sold for maybe $100 online. This one is $6.99, and it does have the frosted signature Rawi, R-A-A-W-I-I, which means it is the vase I was thinking about. This is maybe the first pink thing you've ever seen me pick up. For the right person in the right setting, hot pink can look amazing. This was only $6.99, no chips, no cracks, perfect condition, just needs a nice cleaning. And these currently retail online for over $100, but even if I sell it for less than half of retail at $50, that's still over $40 profit. Sometimes it's worth picking up contemporary items. There was no way I was not getting this for Jesse. So this is how my husband spells his name, in case any of you were wondering. It's J-E-S-S-E. I think I'm gonna save this for his stocking for Christmas. I just think it's so cute, so funny, and it's handmade studio pottery, which you know I love. I see something hiding back here on the shelf. This looks like it's handmade studio pottery. It's kind of a ginger jar style with the shape and the lid. It is $9.99. It's kind of hard to see, but it does have the artist signature there on the bottom. A fabulous vintage studio pottery jar. It's got the nice lid right here. This would be a great canister to keep your coffee in or your tea in next to your coffee or teapot. Ooh, let's take a look at this beautiful porcelain bowl. I've been learning more about early 1900s porcelain out of Limoges, France, and I'm pretty sure that that is where this was made. It's $3.99 and it is signed LMD on the back. Look at how beautiful this hand-painted design is. And it's got a beautiful gold rim. Kind of like glass, this is a new genre for me. I'm learning a lot more about old porcelain. There were a lot of knockoffs made in Japan, but the porcelain from France can be very valuable. This was only $3.99. There's no chips or crack, and I think it could be as early as 1920s. Some of the painting is a little bit worn off, especially on the bottom of this handle, but not bad for possibly being 100 years old. Thank the thrift gods that this made it through the processing at Goodwill without breaking. This is a really pretty picture. It's got such fun colors with the blue, the pinks, the yellows, and the greens. I'm not sure if this is Italian or maybe possibly Portuguese, but it's beautiful. Look how pretty this is. It's a nice size too. It's really large. Beautiful colors on it. This is going to look stunning with a bouquet of flowers. Pictures always sell really great in the spring and summertime because they can not only be used for entertaining and pouring things out of, but they can also be used for beautiful flower arrangements. This looks so ridiculous, but I actually kind of think that I want this woven basket down here. It's got some outrageous stuff going on, but I know once I take that off, it's actually going to be a really nice, sturdy, solid basket with a handle. It's $9.99. At least the stuff is not hot glued, so I think it's going to come off nice and easy. Do you like the new direction my style's going these days? I'm just kidding. I'm going to take all of this off, and like I said, it's not hot glued, so it's actually going to come off really easy. I've been collecting things to decorate Little Italy lately. I wanted a basket that I could use for when I'm harvesting things up there. I'm going to have some plants, some vegetables, and some herbs, so I thought it'd be great to have a decent sized basket with a handle that I can easily carry down to my kitchen whenever I go up there and harvest things. I promise it's going to look better once I take all of this off. These little serving dishes don't hold a ton of value, but I don't usually find them all together, and the teak is actually in really good condition on the handle. This one is $2.99. It's probably only worth around $20, but they are super convenient, and I love having these out when I'm entertaining. I picked up this one to sell, so it's going to be coming to one of my next shop sales. I got it because it was only $2.99. These don't hold a ton of value, but they're very functional. They're perfect for putting dipping sauces in, nuts, snacks, charcuterie stuff. Super functional, super practical. This fabric is stunning. Look at the colors and the pattern. They're $4.99. They look like they might be short for a kitchen window. I think these might be handmade. I'm not sure, but either way, these are fabulous. I wish that I had a place to put them, but I'm really excited for whoever buys these in my next shop sale. But I'm gonna ask you a huge favor. Please send me an after picture. I would love to see how these end up getting used. I wish I had more hours in a day. I am so tempted to make these into an outfit for me. I should sell them as window treatments, right? What should I do? I have a sewing machine. I do know how to sew. I just don't have time to sew. Let me know in the comments below what I should do. Should I try a sewing project with this fabric? Or should I accept the fact that I don't have time and somebody's gonna love them for their windows? What do I do? This is a really pretty pillow, and I love that it has tassels on it. It's $3.99, and it has a zipper so it can easily be washed, and a new pillow added if needed. It's got this beautiful peachy rosé color. This is really pretty. I think we're gonna get this as an accent pillow to sell. I probably picked up more pink items today than I have in the last year. It's by Stratford Home. I'm not familiar with that brand, probably from the 90s or 2000s, I'm thinking. But it's in really good condition, and the fact that it has a zipper and can easily be hand washed before I sell it, that's always a good thing. So far, we are 2 for 2 with our Goodwill locations. We have found some awesome things. All right, let's head to our last and final Goodwill of the day. I want to thank Squarespace for sponsoring today's video.
Squarespace is an all-in-one platform for building your brand and growing your business online. And you can easily make your website stand out and be beautiful by using one of their many, many customizable templates.
It has been such a fun, creative journey for me using my Squarespace site, which never stays the same. And that's part of why I love Squarespace. They are always changing things and adding in new features, new customizable templates, and adding in more powerful e-commerce capabilities with Squarespace extensions. These third-party tools can help you manage your inventory, promote your products, streamline bookkeeping, reconcile and file sales taxes, and even ship your items across the globe. The powerful insights that the analytics on Squarespace offer you will help you gauge how your followers or your shoppers are interacting with your website. You're going to get to learn about your page views, your traffic sources, where everything is coming from, how much time is spent on each page, what content are they clicking on, and where is your audience coming from. These things are so important if you are wanting to connect with your shoppers or your audience and grow your small business. If you are a vintage seller and you are only selling locally, there is the rest of the world that you can tap into. It can seem like a huge transition to start selling your products online, but Squarespace makes it easy. So if you have been on the fence of whether or not you were ready to launch your own website, I promise you can do it. If I can do it with no experience, I know that you can too. And truly, it is a really fun and creative process, and I just know that you're going to be so proud of yourself when you have a beautiful website to show for it at the end of the day. Head to squarespace.com to start your free trial today, and when you are ready to launch your own website, head to squarespace.com/leftcoast to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks again to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. All right, what are these fabulous bookends down here? They've got cougars, or as some of you may call them, panthers on them. They're old chalkware and they clearly have some damage, but that could possibly be repaired. They are $7.99 as is. I think that these are Art Deco era, and even with the damage, they are definitely worth the $7.99. This is probably one of my top favorite bookend sets that I've ever found. Look how fabulous this cougar is. This one only needs a tiny little repair on his foot, and then there's some of the chalky finish exposed right there. Overall, this one is in really good condition, and the other one does need repair on his paw. It's probably above my skill level to repair that one, but I might sell them as is to somebody who thinks that they can actually get them nice and restored, or I might add them to my project pile. I'm not quite sure. I need to show them to Jesse, see what he thinks of them, and see if he thinks that that's a project that we should take on, or if we should just let them go as is. Either way, I did not want to leave them there at Goodwill because I think they are so fabulous, and if they were in perfect condition or if they got restored, I believe that these would be worth around $100, possibly even $150 for the pair. He just needs a little bit of toenail polish and he's going to be good to go. Look how beautiful these are. These are definitely Scandinavian looking folk art, and it's only $4.99, and there are 2 of them. Look at how fabulous these wooden plaques are. They're very large, and I love the fact that I found both of them. Based on the tags, these have been at the thrift store for several days and nobody noticed them because they were stacked up on the shelf. This is your PSA. Don't forget to look underneath things. I always think about the edges of things. So if I'm looking for specific pottery, I can go up and down that play aisle and I'm just looking for the edge or the rim. So don't just learn the surface of items. Know what to look for based on the shape and the outside edges. That will make it easier when you're scanning shelves and you're looking for things without pulling everything out. These are a really good find. These should be worth well over $100 for the pair. I think these would be so sweet in maybe a botanical or garden themed baby nursery. They're so pretty. I love them. And they were only $4.99 each. Ever since I first learned about the Hamza hand, the hand of Fatima, the symbolism and the protection that this hand represents, I've been really drawn to it. When we were in Morocco, I picked up a beautiful hand-painted ceramic hand. This one is new. It's actually got the Ross tag here on the bottom, but it's only $2.99. This would be beautiful to have for decorating and staging. I got this one for decorating with at the studio, especially when I do larger vignettes, and I'm going to show you a few of the other Hamza hands that I have at my studio and at my home. I wonder if this is architectural salvage or if this was actually meant to be a candle holder. It's a hand-carved base and it's only $3.99. I'm not sure if this was the foot or the base to something and something went inside, but I think it would work well with either a little glass vase in there to hold flowers or as a pillar candle holder. This was only $2.99. I really don't know if it was intended to be a candle holder or a vase, but I think it would work great for both of those purposes. I actually recently just passed up on a box similar to this. I think it was longer. This one is $3.99, and on the top it says Lincoln Silver, Montana. actually think I might strip this one. It's got kind of a high gloss on it, so I'm wondering what will happen if I strip it off and give it a little bit more of a natural finish. I'm not going to show you the final results in today's episode, but I'm going to complete this along with my trays, and you will see that before the end of this series. This is such a beautiful hand-painted box. This is probably from World Market is my guess, or maybe Pier 1. It's probably early to mid 2000s, so it's not really vintage, but I do really love the design and the colors on it. It's got a little wooden drawer that pulls out, and it's only $4.99. I was at a girls' lunch recently and we were talking about how World Market and Pier 1 things are actually coming back in style from the early and mid 2000s. It's really fascinating watching trends. They're kind of all over the place right now. I had to get this because the colors on it are so beautiful. I love that bohemian hand-painted folk art design. So I thought this would be kind of fun for actually setting things on top of, since the drawer opens this direction. But not only that, I thought this would be really beautiful for doing kind of flat lay top-down designs, where I'm maybe not setting up a functional vignette, but I'm just giving you concepts and ideas and showing you how to mix and match items. Anyways, I thought it was beautiful and it was only $4.99. Since everybody now knows that calla lilies are my favorite flower officially, I think we're gonna have to get this vintage lamp. It's quite dirty and it needs to be cleaned up, and I don't know if it works, but it's only $6.99. We'll see how it looks once it gets cleaned up, but maybe it needs a new paint job, maybe it doesn't. And hopefully it works, but if not, Jessie does know how to rewire lamps. I wonder if it would be way over the top and too much to style this with the calla lily clock that we found in a recent episode. I thought this one was really sweet and it was only $6.99. I have a couple little tiny lampshades that I think might work with this, so let's try them out. This is a beautiful Japanese stoneware pitcher. I love the blue pattern on it. This one is $3.99 and it looks like it's in really good condition, so we are definitely going to get this. Isn't this pattern beautiful? I love Japanese stoneware, especially from the 60s and 70s, and this one was only $3.99. Today was an awesome day. Thank you so much for joining me, not only in today's episode, but on this entire series. I'm having an absolute blast filming these, checking these Goodwills off one at a time, and decorating with my finds. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because that is how you are guaranteed to get to know when the next episode comes out. It also helps my channel a ton, and I am so grateful for your support. And if you are interested in purchasing any of the things that I found in today's episode or any future episode, I list all of my vintage finds the first Friday of every single month on my website, Left Coast Revivals. And if you want to see a sneak peek of what items are coming to my monthly sale beforehand, you can subscribe to my newsletter at leftcoastrevivals.com/newsletter. I will also link everything in the description below, so it will be really easy to find. I've even created a playlist for this series hitting all 55 local Goodwills so that you can watch them in order or in any order that you want. It's going to be insane to see everything that we find on this entire series hitting all 55 of these Goodwill locations. I've already got the next Goodwills mapped out, and I will see you in that next episode very soon.